she started banging her head on the floor really hard. While I held down the girl's ankle, I felt something trying to enter my hands. Later on, I went to a temple to talk to the medium about the incident. When I told her what happened, she immediately got chills and refused to say much. She said that night, there wasn't just one spirit. There were several watching from the crowd below. 欢迎回到
零度空间。
今天呢，我们要说的是你的故事，
对
你的鬼故事。不过在我们说鬼故事之前呢，我们要呼吁一下，希望你们能够join 我们的会员，每个月只需3块钱
就可以看到我们的 BTS，
我们出国的 vlogs，
对
，Yeah， it's actually 真的是很经济啦，我会说很经济。还有我们要感谢那些支持我们买我们的商品的朋友，尤其是我们的镜子，
对，
一夜暴富的镜子，
很受欢迎，
特别的销。
对，
还有什么？还有杯子，
还有很可爱，
我们的包包。
哦呀，对，
那个包包真的很好用，我觉得那个尺寸啊，全部都刚刚好。你们去supermarket 还是去学校
都可以用，
对吗？去做工也可以用。还有最后一个要呼吁的就是红星大奖要来了，麻烦你们帮我投票，谢谢。10大最受欢迎女艺人 Joey Pink、黎革新，在红星大奖当天，你们可以无限的投票，就是你们可以从凌晨12点到傍晚7点，19个小时拼命的按，谢谢。Okay, let's get back to the topic.
所以今天我们已经选了5个故事，真的是要谢谢你们。每天 OK， 不是每天啦，可是
几乎每天，
对，都会寄很多故事给我们，真的很精彩，真的要选真的很难。可是我们就是慢慢 OK， 今天如果没有选到你的故事没问题 OK， 你们直接继续发给我们。我们现在除了 email 呢，我们还有一个 Google Form OK， 在我们的 description box 还是 comment box 里面都可以用那个 form 来写，就是寄你们的故事给我们啦 OK let's go。
好，我今天选的第一个故事呢是 from David。OK， 这个故事这个事情呢发生在医院，哪一个医院我不懂啦，你们可以去猜。OK，So David 呢，他当时正当他是在当一个护士的实习生。OK，So 这个就是当时发生的。Okay，let's start his stories。Okay。Hi Hellbang, I'm a nurse and I'd like to share a horror story that actually happened to me during my first clinical posting back in 2022. During my internship, I had a terrifying experience in the B2 class ward, where I was assigned to care for 5 patients who shared a common bathroom. One afternoon, during my 1 to 9 p.m. shift, I was going about my usual duties, performing ward rounds, when one of the patients, whom I'll refer to as Uncle A, called me over. He told me he had seen a man repeatedly walking in and out of a shared toilet and asked me to close the door and speak to the man. Confused, but wanting to reassure him, I followed his request and shut the door. But when I looked inside, there was no one there. Later, I spoke to my staff nurse about the incident. He explained that Uncle A had a history of mental illness and had previously been admitted to the Institute of Mental Health, IMH. This reassured me, and I assumed what Uncle A saw was just a result of his condition. However, things took a darker turn that evening. Around 6 p.m., during my medication rounds, Uncle A approached me again. He said he had seen the same man entering the toilet and hand him a earplug. This caught me off guard. So I took the earplug to my staff nurse for clarification. When he saw it, he looked visibly shocked and asked where I gotten it. I explained that Uncle A had given it to me. To my horror, my staff nurse told me the earplug actually belonged to another patient, an elderly man who had passed away just the day before. What was even more unsettling was that Uncle A had described the man exactly as the one who had died. As the night wore on, I continued with my shift. At around 8:30 p.m., while working on my report in a quiet corner of the ward with the lights dimmed, I saw something that made my blood run cold. Out of the corner of my eye, I saw a dark figure sit up from one of the beds and walk towards the toilet. Curious, I checked the bed. Uncle A was fast asleep. Thinking this was just my imagination, I went back to my report. But it happened again and again. 3 times in total, I saw the same figure. Finally, I went to check on Uncle A once more, only to discover he had no pulse, was cold to the touch, and wasn't breathing. I immediately called for my staff nurse and the doctor, but we quickly realized Uncle A was palliative care patient, and there was nothing more we could do. As we began preparing for the body for the family, something even stranger happened. While my staff nurse stepped out to get some wipes, I suddenly felt a cold gust of air wind brushed against the back of my neck. I tried to ignore it and continued preparing the body. Then I felt someone place a pack of wipes in my hand. Thinking my staff nurse had returned, I looked up to speak to him, but to my shock, I saw him just entering the room for the hallway, still holding the unopened pack of wipes. No one had given me anything. My heart raced as I realized I had just experienced something unexplainable. I was left terrified and shaken, convinced I had encountered something paranormal. It was an unforgettable and deeply unsettling moment during my first internship. One I'll never forget. Yeah.
我觉得就是医院很多这种故事，真
对
的。
可是我是觉得 David 当时他只是一个实习生，他应该很年轻而已。
可是我觉得你
OK 啦，
就是
不管你几岁遇到这种事情都会怕。
no matter what， like 你在医院就是实习还是 full time 也好，都会遇到这种东西。我觉得真的，因为我们有很多这种就是从来医院的故事。
是，不过这个他就是看到 Uncle A 去厕所3次，但是其实他的身体已经凉了。但如果他的身体已经凉了，就代表他其实可能已经离开了好一阵子了，就是可能 you know maybe for 2 hours I think 2 hours is enough right 可是他还看到有人去厕所，
可能他就是看得到东西的人咯，可能也是那个 Uncle A 要给他看到，你懂吗？
对，可能是 Uncle A 要他看到，然后要跟他讲，诶，你们没有注意到我离开了，所以他就一直 you know to show some presence，很像要让他注意到，引起他的注意，他就一直去厕所3次。
Oh my god，
几次？
其实这个理由真的是 explainable，right？Yeah。
可能他是来，你一直顾着做你的 report， 我已经离开了，你没有注意到。
一个人照顾5个 patient， 对吧？5个病人。
Hello, call my family already. Right? Yeah， 应该是这样子。Okay, sorry, David， 没有在怪你。OK， 我知道当护士是很累的事情。But kudos to all our medical team in Singapore.OK，
我们这个第2个故事呢是 CK 写给我们的。OK， 这个故事是发生在他小时候住在 Jurong West 的时候发生。This happened back when I was in primary school, when I was 11, and my younger brother was 8. Even now, 19 years later, he still tears up whenever I bring up what happened that day. Oh no. Okay. That afternoon, our dad had driven us out for lunch. Afterwards, he decided to wash his vehicle at a nearby multi-story car park. So my mom brought my younger brother and me to play on our scooter at the HDB void deck directly opposite. We were riding around, having fun, slowly drifting further away from our mom. Eventually, we reached one of these common ramps you often see at HDB void decks, the kind with railings on both sides and a few trees lining the path. As we scooted halfway up the ramp, I suddenly felt something was off. It was that unmistakable feeling, like something was watching us. I stopped in my track. My instincts were screaming that something on my left was watching me. I turned my head and looked towards the tree beside the ramp. My younger brother, who was right behind me, stopped as well and asked why had I suddenly stopped. But I didn't answer. I just kept staring at that tree. He followed my gaze and we both stood there, staring at the same spot, that one tree that felt wrong, eerie, off. And then we saw it. The surface of that tree started changing. Facial features began to emerge, as if something beneath the bark was slowly pressing outwards. First, a nose took shape, then lips, then closed eyelids. It wasn't some optical illusion, it was a face. A full face, but it had the color and the texture of a tree bark. I knew immediately that this was something supernatural. But for some reason, neither of us could look away. I remember really trying to turn my head, but I couldn't. We just stood there, frozen, as the eyelids slowly began to open, revealing blood red eyes. And then the face turned to look directly at us. Its bloody red eyes locked with ours, and its mouth slowly curled into a sinister, twisted smile. I panicked. With every ounce of strength I had, I forced myself to break free of whatever that was holding me. I finally managed to tear my gaze away, spun around, and shouted, "Run!" I grabbed my brother by the arm and we ran away very, very quickly. His eyes were still locked onto that thing. He had not moved. So I had to physically drag him with me, sprinting back down the ramp towards our mom. Strangely, we managed to hold on to our scooter the whole time. Probably because our hands were clenched so tightly from fear. We reached our mom, breathless and terrified, and told her what had happened. Without hesitation, she brought us straight to a temple to pray. That's it. Wow. I cannot imagine if 我觉得我无法想象，就是如果我看到一棵树，我会看到有脸的样子，你懂吗？
Yeah, I cannot imagine that. Actually, 我现在 visualize 的是很像那种电影的情景。
呀，我在想，好像是好像那种 cartoon， 你懂吗？就一棵树，then 变成一个脸这样的样子。
But it doesn't sound scary to me.
Really?
Yeah, because like you say, you know, you visualize cartoon, but for me, I just visualize 很像 I can only visualize like 那个 you know Harry Potter 不是有一个 scene where 那个 tree 会动 but although the tree doesn't
对
have
对对
face
对，
yeah but the tree is actually quite fierce
对，
right
就是
but
想象到这种。
I
yeah
can't think how scary it is though 这个
那我觉得是因为我们不是当事人，
对
所以我们就是无法真的理解他们当时的感受。
好，下一个是我们马来西亚朋友发给我们的
哇
Yeah
谢谢。
，Yeah，他是 Nisha，他是发给我们很多很多故事诶，不过我们只可以选一个，OK？哎，你发了那么多故事呢，在你发的全部故事当中，我觉得这一个是你发的最恐怖的。This happened during my first year staying in the dorms, and it messed me up pretty badly afterwards. For a long time, I couldn't sleep with the lights off. I had to be in a sleep call just to feel less alone. I became paranoid and jumpy, spooked at every little thing. Honestly, I wouldn't wish this experience on my worst enemy. It started on a regular evening. My friend and I'm a Chindian and my friend's Chinese. We went out to get dinner around 7:30 p.m. We didn't make it back till close to 8 because we were waiting on our burgers. We also got lychee milkshakes, but we never got to drink them. On our way back, we suddenly heard someone merong. Correct me if I'm wrong. That's the best way I can describe it. It sounded like someone wailing or crying loudly. At first, we thought it was just someone crying on the phone, but something felt off. It was too loud, so we started looking around. That's when we saw her, a girl crouched on the balcony floor, crying uncontrollably. Then, to our horror, she started banging her head on the floor really hard. We were on the ground floor and tried calling out to her, but she didn't respond. My friend kept watch while I started frantically calling people, friends, MPP, the student council, anyone I thought could help. Even the residential fellow wasn't around at the time. I was still panicking when my friend couldn't take it anymore and ran upstairs. By then, the whole block had started watching. Everyone knew something was going on, except for the girl's own housemates. Not wanting to let my friend go up alone, I ran up after her and entered the house. The balcony door was unlocked, and the girl was still outside, crying and hitting her head. Only after we entered did the other girls in the house came out of their rooms. They looked confused, almost indifferent. They said things like, "Oh, she's like that sometimes." Like it wasn't a big deal. That shocked us even more than anything. Eventually, a few older girls came in and we tried to pull her back in by her ankles. One of them called her name repeatedly and somehow managed to get her attention. That's when the girl on the balcony looked at us and said something that made my heart drop. "I just want it to end." We knew then that we had to get her inside, no matter what. I tried grabbing her feet, but every time I reached out, I felt a deep sense of dread. I was reciting prayers underneath my breath, and every time I touched her, she flinched, like it hurt her. Finally, we managed to grab her ankles and pulled her back inside. We locked the sliding door and stood guard so she wouldn't run out again. Inside, she was crying and flailing, clearly not in control of herself. A few moments later, another girl arrived. Someone I didn't know back then, but later found out that she was my junior. She was experienced in these things, so she asked my Chinese friends and me to help pin the girl down while she tried to ubatkan her. Ubatkan, spiritually cleanse. Here's the part that scared me the most. While I held down the girl's ankle, I felt something trying to enter my hands. I kept praying and holding on, but I was shaking and on the verge of breaking down. My friend felt it too. She's a strong taekwondo athlete, but her legs, which were pinning the girl down, went numb within seconds. That had never ever happened to her before. About 10 seconds later, my junior told us to let go. I immediately released my grip and left the house. I was feeling nauseous and overwhelmed. My friend followed the junior and came out shortly after. She told us she asked us to let go because she heard a voice telling her not to meddle. Right after we let go, my friend and junior both saw something. They described it differently, but both saw something. My friend saw just the head and the long hair of a woman floating away into one of the bathroom and through another balcony. My junior saw the full apparition, a woman in white with her head down and long black hair. As I sat outside trying to calm myself down, I noticed red marks starting to appear on my neck, as if someone had tried to strangle me. After that, things got worse. I felt sick often, my moods were low, I got easily startled and constantly felt like something was following me. I eventually recovered and I'm okay now. The girl got the help she needed too. Later on, I went to a temple to talk to the medium about the incident. When I told her what happened, she immediately got chills and refused to say much. All she told me was to take care of myself before helping others. She said I wasn't strong enough yet to handle things like this and that spirits could enter my body through touch. She said one last thing just before ending the session that still gives me goosebumps. She said that night there wasn't just one spirit. There were several watching from the crowd below, and she refused to say anything more.
Huh? Wait，谁讲有多过一个
The medium.
？then 他又懂
I guess because she's the medium. But one thing is,
他不在那边嘛？
but one thing is the medium, like she told when Nisha told the medium what happened, right? 那个 medium had chills like you know, I feel like 如果这个事情能够让那个师傅还是道士有毛战，还是觉得不舒服的话，应该是真的不简单因为他们应该是 you know 看过这些东西的，不怕的。But 如果那个庙的那个师傅都怕，然后也不想多说的话，应该是一个很凶的。
可能是凶啦，因为他都说，妮莎是吗？妮莎都说，之后他也是没事不舒服啊。
对，他不舒
过了
服是
一阵子他才就是好起来。
对吧？for 那个庙的那个maybe the medium to say to have chills and don't want to say anything more， 我觉得不简单。Like
我觉得it's just obviously 是不简单。It's just that 我会在想连那个名人怎么知道？怎么知道有多过一个？
当时
除非他在那边，因为就你懂吗？因为他又不在现场，他怎么知道？他怎么知道？就是好像他们在1楼还是2楼还是3楼？因为他讲就有多过一个在楼下嘛 ，ground level。
That's why when she heard this story, she got chills, right? Because 她可能是想，我当时就在现场。
他是在现场吗？有没有？
如果他在现场，他不去帮忙的话，
对啊，所以我觉得他是不是在现场，可是他怎么知道呢？我就
Yeah,
I don't know， 你是可以看到 past events 吗？我会很好奇啦。
是，
可是我觉得就是这个 Dom 的故事真是挺可怕的。
对 ，actually，就是宿舍其实还蛮阴暗、蛮恐怖的，很多都是在很多闹鬼的事件都发生在学校还有宿舍。
对，
对不对？
宿舍很多故事啦。呀，可是and then 我觉得就是妮莎的经验也这
很不幸啦，他只是想做一个好人，他都不认识那个女孩子，对不对？你们都不认识那个女孩子，然后他跟他的朋友就去帮忙，但结果妮莎就是可能她的气场、她的磁场好像不够高、不够强，然后就给这个 可能就给一些某些物体进入了他的身体，然后害到他一直生病这些。不过他的出发点是好的。
我也觉得就是他不是有说有些同学都有讲过哦，他那个朋友是这样的，来就是有时是这样，我就觉得哈，来为什么其他同学会说这种东西？来，如果你看到一个人就是一直是在地板吗？就一直敲着自己的头，一定是有问题啊！来，
对，How can they say like
yeah, 为什么他们会说来？哎呀，actually 有时是这样的。
Yeah, I don't think it's normal.
It's not
okay?
nice.
他的反而他的室友好像是有点不正常的。
OK，我们下一个故事呢是 Joshua，他是要和我们分享，就是他在小时候住在 Boon Lay 的时候。哦，我要讲 blog 出来吗？
讲
讲吗？
讲
OK，我直接读他的故事吧。When I was a kid, my parents and I lived at Boon Lay Place, Block 208. On the 8th floor, right at the corner unit beside us stairs, in front of Lift C. We lived there from 1998 until March 6, 2021. Okay, I'm sorry for friends who are staying there. Back then, when I was about 6 years old, I would go out and play at the nearby playground every night around 7 p.m. until as late as 11 p.m. Usually with a group of friends. But one particular night during the Hungry Ghost Festival, something happened that I will never forget. That night, I was playing outside and came home late, as usual. When I reached the base of my block at Lift C, I noticed something strange. The place was completely deserted. The letterboxes on the left were silent, and there wasn't any single person around. It felt like a ghost town. Still, I brushed it off and treated it like just any other night. I pressed the button for the lift and got in. I live on the 8th floor, so I pressed number 8 and waited. As the lift started moving up, I stood in the middle near the glass panel in the door. When we passed the 5th floor, I suddenly saw something that made my heart stop. There was a figure standing right in front of me. A woman with long black hair covering her face, dressed in a long white gown. I jumped in shock, completely frozen. The moment the lift reached my floor, I booted out and ran home straight, banging on the gate and door until it finally opened. But that wasn't the end of it. The next night, it happened again. This time, as the lift passed the 5th floor, I saw the same figure, only now she was standing further away from the lift doors, but clearly visible from head to toe. I could see her white dress and long black hair covering her face. She stood there, completely still. Once again, I ran the moment the doors of the lift opened. And then, on another night, something even more unsettling happened. This time, inside my home. I was lying on the floor watching TV when I suddenly heard the sound of the lift door opening at our floor. Normally, when that happens, you would hear footsteps or voices, something to show someone had arrived. But this time, there were nothing, just silence. Something felt off. I slowly turned my head from the TV to glance toward the back of the house. Behind us, we had 2 large frosted glass windows, those blurry kind, and through them, I saw it. The shadow of a head slowly passing by outside, without a sound, no footstep, no movement noise, just the shadow gliding past. I immediately muted the TV and held my breath. The shadow paused. and then slowly turned towards the window as if it was trying to look inside. I stayed completely still, trying not to breathe. Once it finally turned away, I crept quietly to the door and looked out through the peephole. What I saw next sent chills down my whole body. Me too! Oh my goodness! There was a little girl floating outside. Her feet were not touching the ground. Oh my god! Oh my god! I'm getting the chills just like you, Joshua. Oh my goodness!
You're very
我天哪
brave 他很勇敢的，还敢
Yeah,
看
他还去看！Oh my god!
Yeah, I
哇 ！Oh my
wouldn't
god!
dare, man.
我觉得，所以他一直看到的就是那个东西，就是一个小女孩耶。
Looking through the peephole 是一个很恐怖、很恐怖、很怕人的事情。
对，因为你不懂什么是在the other side
Yeah,
of that
you
peephole.
will get a jump scare or things like that, you know.
Yeah, that 哇，你还 OK， 你很怕，你关电视，可是你等他走了，then 你又去看他在哪里？
你想为什么 Joshua 要关电视 I would have blast like very loud and keep all the lights on.
没有，因为我觉得是他怕，所以什么声音都关掉，假装就是没有人，你懂吗？因为他呼吸也不敢呼吸，你懂吗？就是他mute他的 TV， 他的电视，但他是呼吸都不敢呼吸之类。
你觉得这样子是对的吗？
我不懂。
我觉得是我的话，我就是会把那个家弄到很热闹。
OK， 通常人家说，如果你怕，你就是怕那个东西会来，就是弄你还是什么，你应该就很大声来，你这么
对对对对
对，不要吵我，不要来烦我。因
为你要想，越没有人的地方，对吗？它这些灵异的东西就越会很像要介入，要搬进来占为己有，所以你就不应该关掉电视机。就说 next time if this ever happen again，
他不会了啦，那么大了。
I highly recommend like or anybody okay don't go and like make it a silent environment. OK， 把你的周围弄到越热闹越好。
No， 可是你有没有发现，他的家是可能在角落头。
对。
可是我很好奇的就是，他住在8楼8楼不应该就是缓咩？
可能
我不懂
刚好他那一楼就是没有阳光，
没有很滑是吗？因为可是你8楼，通常8楼人家是很滑的地方，你懂吗？很滑的那种的，
阴暗。
华人很喜欢8就滑嘛，滑。可是我觉得也是因为你的家是在角落头，也谢谢你给我们这个资料，你懂吗？因为我可能就是角落头通常是没有很多人气，所以就是这些灵异的事件都就发生的几率会比较高。
OK， 我们的最后一个故事呢是 from Zacky， 他还给他的故事取了一个标题cute. The night I wasn't alone. 事情的经过是这样的。It happened on a quiet night while I was sleeping in my parents' room. For several nights leading up to this, I'd been feeling strangely anxious after dark. Though I couldn't quite explain why, there was always a lingering sense of unease, like something unseen was watching me. A few nights earlier, I had a nightmare that still lingered in my mind. In the dream, I was at my grandmother's house in Malaysia, a landed property with a backyard behind the kitchen. At a gate beyond the yard, a man stood over there. He wore glasses and stared at me with an expression so sinister, so piercing, it felt like he was looking straight into my soul. His gaze was filled with malice, a silent threat. I'd never seen him before, yet the dream felt disturbingly real. When I woke up, I was drenched in fear, unable to shake the feeling that something was wrong. Then came that night. My parents were fast asleep beside me when I drifted into another unsettling dream. this time of shadowy wizards casting spells, their voices echoing in the dark void of my mind. Suddenly, around 3 a.m., I jolted awake. The room was pitch black, and for a moment, everything was silent. Then I heard it, a faint, rhythmic creaking. It sounded like wood straining under pressure. At first, it was subtle, almost ignorable, but it grew louder, more distinct, and then stranger sounds began to join in. An eerie, unplaceable mix of noises that didn't belong. I scanned the room in the dark, heart racing, checking on my parents. They were still sound asleep. Completely unaware, I couldn't pinpoint where the sounds were coming from. Then I shifted in bed and sat up straight. The noise suddenly stopped. It felt like something had been sitting or crouching on a wooden bed frame where my father lay. And when it realized I had noticed, it froze, still there, watching, waiting. I didn't even have time to process the fear before another sound emerged. From the living room, outside came the unmistakable click of a light switch being flipped. Then again and again. The sound started slowly, but quickly escalated, faster, louder, more aggressive. It was as if someone was furiously turning the lights on and off, yet no light spilled in from underneath the door. At first, I tried to rationalize it. Could it be the neighbors? But that didn't make sense. The walls were thick, practically soundproof, and no other switch sounded like ours. Our light switches had a very specific, distinct click. Then it hit me. The sound was coming from inside my own home. The lights weren't turning on, there was no glow, just the furious, hollow clicking of switches being flipped in the dark. I wanted to scream, to wake my parents, but something deep inside me told me not to. I remembered what I once been told. Don't acknowledge these things. The moment you do, they know and they get stronger. So I shut my eyes, laid still, and pretend I heard nothing. Eventually, the sound faded. The flicking stopped. The room fell silent again. I don't remember how I managed to fall back asleep, but to this day, I still wonder, why didn't I wake my parents? If it happened now, I absolutely would. But that night, I didn't. Maybe deep down, I already knew something was trying to lure me out of that room. And if I had stepped out into the living room, I might not have been alone. Good job. Good job, Zaki. You made the right choice, the right decision.
对，我觉得做的很好，没有那个声音没有诱惑你。
对，Yeah。
对
So actually，你看也是很矛盾的。刚刚我们讲就是，你不要安静，对不对？我们刚才不是有提到说，如果你有这些事情的话，你要把你的地方弄到很热闹。可是现在他又说，来，你不要去承认他们的存在。可是我觉得不是承认它的存在，就是如果你把你的父母叫醒的话，当时你把他们叫醒了，you know they would also
没有，我觉得承认就是 acknowledge 他们的存在是来，Oh my god， 那边有一个 you know,
yes
这种东西，
对
呀，我觉得就是你知道他在那里，可是你却不就是讲一句 about 他们，就是可能你关电视还是开电视比较大声一点，他们有可能不懂，你知道他们的存在，
对
呀，所以我觉得来就是来 acknowledge 是这种方法呀，不是说来。不是说来哇，你懂他们在那边，你关电视就是你 acknowledge 了，我觉得不是这样。
That is sure so.
Yeah.
不过有可能就是，如果他叫他的父母起来的话，他可能可以 just 开全部的灯，房间的灯开了房间的灯，然后叫他们起来，对吗？然后他们问他什么事的时候，他又不要说，他就看出他们就可能就可以讲 没有事，我只是叫你们起来陪我一下子。可能你讲这种东西对吗？你的父母还是你周围的人就会明白发生什么事。
可能他自己当时也害怕啦，因为真的是，如果你当时就是在那个处境的时候，你真的是，如果你没有体验过，你真的是无法会去理解他们当时在想什么，你懂吗？哎呀，可能是来你之后你会来，哎呀，我应该叫醒我爸妈这种。
是你的话
呀
你会怎样？
我没有想过诶，我觉得我是那种我会 just 静静假装他们不在。
如果你是一个人的话呢？
我不要这样想，
哈，OK，
我会怕。
我觉得如果是我不是一个人的话，对吗？我一定会叫我身边的人起来，然后我会开灯。OK，but 我不会去 acknowledge 它的存在，我不会去承认它的存在，我可能只会跟我周围的人讲，没有啊，就叫你们起来陪我一下子，这样子，然后开着灯。他讲没事了，我们就开着灯睡觉，我就会这样子讲。如果是我一个人的话，我会马上开灯，然后我可能会开始刷 TikTok。
啊，
distract yourself， 开始来这边刷 TikTok， 拼命的刷开声。
我觉得是 OK。如果我不是住在自己的家，就是出国，无论是去哪里，住 Airbnb 还是酒店，还是朋友家，还是什么，我觉得我会开着灯睡，因为我会怕
，That's fine。
因为我觉得如果关着灯，我会胡思乱想，所以我觉得不要胡思乱想是最好的，可能你的方法也行 ，I don't know。
不过我出国一个人住，我一定是灯开到完的，电视机也开着。
OK，so 这是我们5个故事，谢谢你们5位分享了你们的恐怖鬼故事给我们。OK， 所以你们知道的，如果你被选的话，你的故事被选的话，你就会收到一个礼物，就是我们的 Hellbang Merch。OK，不要跟你们讲你们会拿到什么啦，等你们收到就知道了。好 ，OK。所以 OK， 那些没有被选中的故事呢，不要气馁，我们有很多集还可以再说，还可以再分享给大家。如果你有故事的话，有新的故事，对，新的鬼故事，恐怖的，直接send给我们 ，OK， 写 email 也可以，就是我们有一个 Google Form， 也可以从那里跟我们分享你的故事。
对了 ，so 谢谢你们又陪我们度过了这一集。还有呢，好，就再次说一下哦，不要忘了我们的 membership，OK， 你们可以 join 我们的 member，Hellbang member， 还有你们可以自己看看一下我们的商品 ，OK， 我们的商品其实都 very useful， 很有用的。
对。
还有不要忘了帮我投票，红星大奖当天可以无限投票 ，OK， 谢谢，记得点赞、订阅，
订阅，
还有开启小铃铛，叮叮叮，
我又忘了，天哪，
没事，拜。